Let me guess, right now you are the main problem solver in your business. People bring you the issues. You figure out the fix, you push the change. And if you stop pushing, things stall. That works for a little while, but if you want a real culture of continuous improvement, you can't be the only engine. You have to shift from being the fixer to being the coach. Today's video is all about that. How to coach your team through continuous improvement using simple conversations, questions, and rhythms so they learn to see problems, run experiments, and improve the work without you having to micromanage every step. By the end, you'll have a simple CI coaching conversation you can use in any meeting, a way to run coaching style huddles and 1.1s, and a few pitfalls to avoid so you don't slip back into fixer mode. Let's get into it. Fixer versus coach. First, let's define the difference. The fixer feels responsible for solving every problem, listens for a few seconds, then jumps to a solution, gives instructions, here's what you should do, ends up overloaded and frustrated that the team won't think. The coach feels responsible for developing problem solvers, listens longer, asks questions, and helps people think. Guides, let's figure this out together, what do you see? Ends up with a team that can run improvement even when they're not in the room. Here's a key mindset shift. Your goal is not just to get problems solved. Your goal is to grow people who can solve problems. Every time someone brings you a problem, you have a choice. Answer it and keep ownership, or use it as a coaching moment to build their capability. The rest of this video will give you a simple way to choose the second path. The CI coaching conversation. Let's build a basic continuous improvement coaching conversation you can use anywhere. In 1.1s, in huddles, in ad hoc hallway chats. It has 5 steps. 1, clarify the goal. 2, understand the current situation. 3, find root causes. 4, design a small test. 5, agree on follow-up. You don't have to say those words out loud, but you can use them as a mental checklist. Step 1, clarify the goal. Start with, what are we trying to achieve here? What would success look like? This stops you from solving the wrong problem. Example, we want fewer last-minute rush jobs. We want more of our leads to show up to booked calls. We want fewer client questions during onboarding. Step 2, understand the current situation. Ask, what's actually happening right now? Where do you see this in the process? Do we have any numbers, even rough ones? You're helping them move from vague frustration, it's a mess, to a specific description. 30% of Monday orders ship late. Step 3, explore root causes. Instead of offering your theory, ask, why do you think this is happening? What happens right before that? If we walk through the steps, where does it first go off track? Use why a few times gently. The goal isn't to interrogate them, it's to help them see the process and the contributing factors. Step 4, design a small test. Ask, what's one small thing we could try to improve this? If we did X for the next 2 weeks, what do you think would happen? How would we know if it helped? You're aiming for a small change, a clear expectation, and a simple way to measure. Help them tighten it up. Okay, so for the next 2 weeks, we expect to move from to we'll check on. Step 5, agree on follow-up, close with, let's check back on this on. You bring what you saw, what worked, what didn't, and we'll decide the next step. Now you've turned a problem brought to you into a learning cycle owned by them with your support. Coaching weekly huddles. Now let's apply coaching to your weekly CI huddles. Most huddles drift into status updates, random complaints, or vague, we need to do better talk. You're going to guide them toward improvement thinking using questions. Simple huddle structure, 15 to 30 minutes once a week. Use 3 phases. 1, wins. 2, problems. 3, next experiments. Phase 1, wins. Ask, what went well last week? Any improvements that made life easier or helped a customer? Why this matters? It trains the team to notice progress. It keeps morale up. and it reinforces the idea that improvement is possible. Phase 2, problems. Ask, where did we experience friction? What recurring issues did we see? Where did we drop the ball for customers? When someone shares a problem, thank them. Clarify it. What exactly happened? When? How often? Avoid jumping to solutions. You might pick one problem to focus on this week. Phase 3, next experiments. For that one problem, you run a mini coaching conversation with the group. What's our goal here? What's actually happening? What might be causing it? What's one small thing we could try before next week? Who will own the test and how will we know if it helped? Write the experiment where everyone can see it. Problem, idea, owner, measure, check-in date. Next week, you start by asking the owner what happened, celebrate the learning, and decide to keep, tweak, or drop the change. You're teaching the team a rhythm. See, think, test, learn, and you're doing it together. Coaching one-on-ones and ad hoc moments. Some of your best coaching opportunities won't be in formal meetings. They'll be in your 1.1s, when someone slacks you, when a team member says, got a minute, we have a problem. Instead of treating those as interruptions to solve quickly, treat them as micro coaching sessions. In 1-on-1s, when someone brings an issue, you can say, walk me through what's happening. What do you think is the real issue here? If you could try one experiment to make this better, what would it be? Let them think out loud. Resist filling the silence too quickly. If their idea is reasonable and low risk, let them run with it. Great, try that for the next week. Track, and we'll review it next time. In ad hoc. Got a minute? Moments. You won't always have time for the full 5-step conversation, but you can still coach instead of fix. 3 questions you can use quickly. 1. What do you think is going on? 2. What options do you see? 3. Which one do you think we should test first and why? If you truly need to give a directive, you still can, but start by pulling their thinking out first. Over time, your people will come to you not just with problems, but with proposed experiments. Here's what I think is wrong. Here's what I'd like to try. Are you okay with that? That's exactly what you want. Common coaching pitfalls. Let's talk about a few pitfalls that will pull you back into fixer mode. Pitfall 1, answering too fast. You listen for 10 seconds, then say, just do X next. Short term, that feels efficient. Long term, you train people not to think. Correction. Force yourself to ask at least 2 to 3 questions before offering an opinion. Pitfall 2, overcomplicating tools you get excited and roll out. Detailed templates, complex forms, or heavy jargon. The team gets overwhelmed and quietly drops it. Correction. Keep tools simple. 1 page, a few questions, easy to use in real conversations. Pitfall 3, doing the work for them. You say, I'll just take this one. It's faster if I do it. Sometimes that's true, but if you always do that, you stay the bottleneck. Correction, split the work. They do the legwork, map the process, gather data, draft ideas. You review and guide. Pitfall 4, coaching without clarity. If you're not clear on the bigger goals and priorities, your coaching will feel random. Correction, tie conversations back to goals. How does this problem affect our objective? Which metric are we trying to move? Coaching works best inside a simple shared direction. Putting it together and challenge. Let's pull this together. To coach your team through continuous improvement, you're doing 3 big things. 1, shift your identity from the person who solves every problem. 2, the person who grows people who solve problems. 2, use a simple CI coaching conversation. Clarify the goal. Understand the current situation. Explore root causes. Design a small test. Agree on follow-up. 3, embed coaching into rhythms. Weekly huddles, wins, problems, next experiments. 1-on-ones, use questions before answers. Daily moments, treat got a minute as a chance to build capability. Here's your challenge. For the next 2 weeks, pick one of these to practice. In your next 3 problem conversations, ask at least 3 questions before you offer a solution. Or, In your next weekly huddle, pick one problem and guide the team through. Goal, current state, root cause, small test, follow up. Notice what happens. Do people start offering more ideas? Do they feel more ownership? Do you feel less pressure to have all the answers? That's the signal that you're moving from fixer to coach and that your continuous improvement system is becoming something your team can carry with you, not just something you push on your own. If this was helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what's one coaching question you're going to start using with your team. Thanks for watching, and keep building a business where improvement doesn't just depend on you, it lives in the way your whole team thinks and works.